It is 2 a.m. The world is silent. The city lights are dim. The streets are empty. The notifications stop. Most people are asleep. But somewhere, a single lamp is still on. A student sits at a desk, eyes tired, mind heavy, body begging for sleep. This moment, this exact moment, is where most people surrender, but a very small number of people discover something extraordinary. They discover the 2 a.m. discipline. And once you understand this moment, once you understand what happens inside the brain during this hour, you realize something shocking. 2 a.m. is not weakness. 2 a.m. is a threshold, a biological threshold, a psychological threshold, a battlefield between comfort and greatness. And the students who learn to master this hour develop a mental weapon the rest of the world never even knows exists. Tonight, we are not just talking about studying late. We are talking about something deeper, something scientific, something dangerous. We are talking about how to weaponize the quietest hour of the night to build a mind that cannot be broken. The Forbidden Edge Strategy. While the rest of the world sleeps, your brain enters a unique neurochemical state that most people waste on exhaustion. We are going to weaponize that 2 a.m. physiological threshold, transforming your vulnerability into a high-stakes arena for radical academic mastery. Stop enduring the silence and start dominating it to build a superior intellect. The story of Arjun. Let me tell you a story, not about genius, not about talent, not about perfect grades, but about a student who discovered something powerful at 2 a.m. His name was Arjun. Arjun was not extraordinary. He was average. Average school, average grades, average focus. The kind of student teachers barely remembered. But Arjun had a problem. He wanted more. He wanted to understand things deeply. He wanted to master difficult subjects. He wanted to escape the life he saw around him. But every time he tried to study, the world distracted him. Phones, friends, noise, social media, daytime chaos. His brain felt scattered, unfocused, like trying to read a book inside a crowded train station. One night, exhausted after another unproductive day, Arjun stayed awake late, very late. Midnight passed, 1 a.m. passed, and then something strange happened. The house became completely silent. No messages, no notifications, no sounds, just quiet. And suddenly, for the first time all day, his mind became clear. He opened his textbook, and something incredible happened. He understood the chapter faster than ever before. Problems that confused him earlier now made sense. Concepts that felt complicated became simple patterns. He studied for 2 hours, no distractions, no interruptions, just deep focus. When he finally looked at the clock, it was 3:47 a.m. That night, Arjun discovered something most students never notice. The mind behaves differently after 2 a.m. And once he realized this, he began experimenting with it. The biological hack. What if the pre-dawn hours held the secret to an unbreakable mental edge? By synchronizing intense focus with your brain's specific late-night chemistry, you can convert raw fatigue into absolute academic excellence. This isn't just about staying awake. It's about forging a disciplined mind through the science of sleep deprivation. The science of the 2 a.m. threshold. Most people believe the brain becomes weaker at night, but neuroscience reveals something fascinating. Around 2 a.m., your body enters a very specific biological phase. Your core body temperature drops, melatonin peaks, cortisol remains low, and the brain's prefrontal cortex begins relaxing its strict control. What does that mean? It means something remarkable happens. The brain shifts away from rigid analytical thinking and moves toward pattern recognition. This is the same cognitive state associated with creative breakthroughs, deep learning, insight formation, long-term memory encoding. In simple terms, the brain becomes less distracted by rules and more capable of seeing connections. But there is a catch. This state is unstable. It exists for only a short window, roughly 90 minutes before extreme fatigue takes over. Most people never notice this window because they are already asleep. But those who stay awake and use this moment intentionally enter a powerful mental state, a state where learning becomes accelerated, where focus becomes intense, where silence becomes a weapon. This is the 2 a.m. cognitive threshold, and mastering it requires one thing above all else: discipline. The high-stakes challenge. Most students view 2 a.m. as a sign of failure, but for the elite, it is a battlefield for cognitive superiority. We are diving into the science of how to weaponize your exhaustion and turn the quietest hours into your most productive sessions. Master your neurochemistry now to achieve a level of discipline others can't touch. The Forbidden Edge Strategy. Arjun started experimenting. He called it something unusual. He called it the Forbidden Edge because it felt like discovering a secret room inside the brain, a place where most people never go. Every night, he followed the same ritual: 11 p.m. light review, 12 a.m. deep study, 1 a.m. practice problems, 2 a.m. attack mode. During this hour, he didn't just read. He challenged himself. He forced the brain into pressure, active recall, difficult problems, complex theories. Because when the brain is tired, it stops pretending. It reveals what it actually understands and what it doesn't. Arjun began solving problems faster, understanding patterns quicker, memorizing concepts deeper, because fatigue removed hesitation and silence removed distraction. The quiet night became his competitive advantage. While the world slept, Arjun trained his mind. The mechanics of targeted cognitive stress. Most students study passively, reading, highlighting, watching lectures, but passive learning is comfortable, and comfort does not build mastery. Arjun discovered something powerful. The brain learns fastest under controlled stress. This is called targeted cognitive stress. Instead of reviewing notes, he forced himself into high-pressure learning. He asked questions like, "What if this appears in the exam? How would I explain this concept without notes? What patterns exist in this data?" When the brain struggles, it reorganizes information. Neural connections strengthen, memory becomes deeper, and during the quiet hours of 2 a.m., that stress becomes amplified because there is nothing else competing for attention. No noise, no interruption, no digital chaos, just pure concentration. And slowly, Arjun's mind began changing. The biological hack. But discipline alone was not enough. Arjun began researching neuroscience. He discovered something fascinating. The brain's chemistry at night could be optimized. He experimented with small adjustments: hydration, light exposure, movement. Each one influenced cognitive clarity. A glass of water every 40 minutes stabilized attention. A brief exposure to cool light kept the brain alert, and every 30 minutes he stood up and moved.
Just a few push-ups, a short stretch, a quick walk across the room. These microbursts reset the vestibular system, preventing mental fog, maintaining focus. This was not random. It was strategy. Arjun wasn't just studying anymore. He was engineering his brain. The discipline of the unseen hour. Something began changing inside him, not just knowledge, but identity. Most students study when they feel motivated. Arjun studied when it was hardest, when everyone else slept, when the mind felt heavy, because that is where discipline is forged. Discipline is not built in comfort. It is built in the unseen hours, the hours nobody applauds, nobody notices, nobody congratulates. But those hours accumulate power, like silent training for the mind. And slowly, Arjun realized something. The night was not lonely. The night was competitive advantage. While others disconnected, he advanced. While others rested, he learned. While others postponed, he progressed. And that realization changed everything. The breaking point. But mastery never comes easily. After several weeks, the fatigue hit hard. One night, Arjun stared at his textbook, and nothing made sense. His brain felt empty, his eyes burned, his body begged for sleep. This is the moment where most people quit. But something inside him whispered, just 10 more minutes. So he continued. 10 minutes became 20, 20 became 30, and suddenly his brain snapped into focus again. A second wind, a surge of clarity. Another hidden secret of the 2 a.m. discipline. Fatigue arrives in waves, and those who survive the first wave often discover deeper focus on the other side. The first results. Months passed. Slowly, the results appeared. Arjun's grades improved, but more importantly, his thinking changed. He could analyze faster, solve problems quicker, understand patterns deeper. Teachers noticed. Friends were confused. How did you suddenly become so good? But Arjun knew the truth. It was not sudden. It was built silently, night after night, at 2 a.m. The real lesson. The power of the 2 a.m. discipline is not just studying late. It is learning to operate when motivation disappears. It is training the brain to focus under fatigue. It is building resilience where most people surrender. Because the truth is simple. Anyone can work when conditions are easy, but the people who master the quiet hours master themselves. And once you master yourself, every other challenge becomes smaller. The final message. One day, your alarm will ring. Your mind will say, sleep more, study tomorrow, relax tonight. And in that moment, you will face a decision. Comfort or discipline? Most people choose comfort, but a few choose something else. They choose the unseen hour. They choose the silent bat.
They choose the silent battlefield. They choose the 2 a.m. discipline because they understand something powerful. While the world sleeps, greatness is being built. Quietly, relentlessly, one focused hour at a time. Remember, the world is full of people waiting for the right moment, but winners create the moment. If this message gave you even 1% motivation today, like the video, subscribe for more mindset content, Share it with someone fighting a silent battle.